In today's video, we are going to talk about 7 things you shouldn't do before boarding your Europe flight in 2026. Imagine this: you've finally landed in the city of your dreams. Maybe it's Paris, Rome, or Prague. The air smells like fresh pastries, the architecture is breathtaking, and you're ready to start your adventure. But then you reach for your phone to navigate to your hotel and realize it's at 2%. Or worse, you realize your cards are all in one wallet that's now sitting in the hands of a clever pickpocket on a scooter. Traveling to Europe is a dream, but the logistics, they can be a total nightmare if you don't have a bulletproof system. Welcome back to Travel Smart Daily. I'm so glad you're here because today we're going way beyond the basics. After nearly 24 years of perfecting the art of the carry-on-only lifestyle, I've narrowed down my departure routine into 7 essential pillars. We're talking about the home-based rituals, the specific 20 to 26 gear updates, and the airplane seat setups that separate the pros from the exhausted tourists. Stick with me until the end, because tip number 7 is the ultimate secret to landing in Europe feeling refreshed instead of wrecked. Number 1. The digital lifeline. Most people think they just need their physical passport. They tuck it in a silk neck pouch and forget about it. That is a mistake in 20 to 26. Before you even zip your suitcase, I want you to take a high-resolution photo of the barcode inside the back cover of your passport. Why? If your passport vanishes, stolen, lost, or dropped in the Tiber, pronounced Tiber River, that code is your golden ticket. If you walk into an embassy with a digital copy of that barcode, their scanners can pull your data instantly. It turns a week-long bureaucratic nightmare into a 24-hour fix. But safety today goes beyond documents. Pickpockets have moved into the high-tech era. You must have an RFID blocking slim wallet. Why slim? Because the bulge in your pocket is a target. I also recommend slash-resistant gear. I've seen thieves in Barcelona use a box cutter to slice the bottom of a backpack in 3 seconds. I use a bag with a wire-reinforced strap. Even in Greece, where I opted for a simple belt bag, I kept it across my chest, never on the shoulder where it can be snatched by a passing bike. Pro tip: never keep all your euros and cards in one spot. Use the rule of 3. 1 card in your wallet, 1 card in your survival cube in your suitcase, and 1 digital card on a device that is not your primary phone. Number 2. The 20 to 26 tech defense. There's a specific scheme trending right now across London, Paris, and Rome: the scooter snatch. Thieves on electric scooters or bicycles fly onto the sidewalk and grab phones right out of travelers' hands while they're looking at Google Maps. I've heard stories from pilots' families just this week about this happening. To stay safe, hold your phone close to your body. If you need to check a map, stop, turn around, and put your back against a wall or a building. This eliminates your blind side. Now let's talk power. My Anchor, pronounced Anchor, power bank is my best friend. But airlines in 20 to 26 have updated their safety protocols. You cannot put these in checked luggage. They are a fire hazard. But more importantly, many new aircraft have no-charge rules during taxi, takeoff, and landing. The 20 to 26 battery rule: always keep your power bank in your seat back pocket where you can see it. If it starts to get hot, you need to be able to alert the crew immediately. Also, invest in a tracker card. I use one that looks exactly like a credit card, but has Find My Phone capabilities. If your wallet is stolen but the thief tosses the bag, you can still track the wallet. Number 3. Preparing your internal systems. A 9-hour flight to Europe is a marathon for your internal organs. You have to prep. First, compression. I don't care how young or fit you are. Wear mild compression socks for any flight over 3 hours. They prevent that heavy leg feeling caused by blood pooling in your feet. Look for the ones that look like normal business socks, so you don't feel like a medical patient. Second, the pre-flight cleanse. The day before I fly, I eat strictly clean foods. Lots of greens, no heavy salts, and I double my water intake. Your digestion effectively shuts down at 30,000 feet due to the cabin pressure. If you eat a heavy double bacon cheeseburger at the airport, that food is going to sit in your gut like a brick for the entire flight, making you feel sluggish and bloated when you land. Third, medication. Keep all meds in your personal item, never the overhead bin. Take photos of your prescriptions. In 20 to 26, customs. Agents are more frequently asking for proof that the pill pills in your organizer match a legal prescription. If you have liquid meds, tell the TSA officer up front to save yourself a secondary screening. Number 4. Navigating the power maze. Europe's history is beautiful, but its electrical grid is a nightmare for travelers. Most of Europe uses the two-prong Type-C or Type-E plug, but if you're heading to the UK or Ireland, you need the bulky three-prong Type-G. And here is the 20 to 26 trap. Switzerland. Switzerland uses the Type-J plug. It looks like the European one, but it has a third pin in the middle, and the recessed hexagonal shape is unique. Your standard Euro adapter will often not fit in Swiss wall sockets. The solution: get a universal GAN charger. These are smaller, faster, and don't get as hot. Also, stop bringing voltage converters for hair tools. They are heavy and they often fail, smelling like burnt plastic. Instead, buy dual voltage tools. A dual voltage curling iron or straightener works in the US and Europe with just a tiny $5 plastic adapter. And remember the one outlet reality. European hotels, especially the charming older ones, might only have one outlet in the entire room. Bring a power strip cube with multiple USB and USB-C ports so you can charge your phone, your watch, and your camera all from one wall plug. Number 5. The survival packing strategy. What happens if your luggage ends up in Munich while you're in Milan? It happens more than you think. I use the survival cube method. I pack one medium compression cube in my personal item, the bag under the seat. Inside are 2 shirts, 2 pairs of underwear, and 2 pairs of socks. It's a tiny insurance policy that ensures you can at least change your clothes while the airline spends 48 hours tracking your suitcase. Next, waterproofing. I once spent 5 days walking along the Danube, pronounced Danube, in a constant drizzle. My cute canvas sneakers were soaked in 10 minutes. Now I always pack one pair of stylish, water-resistant Chelsea boots or treated sneakers. Finally, the secret shrug. Many European cathedrals and churches, like St. Peter's in Rome, have strict dress codes. No bare shoulders, no short skirts. I carry a lightweight cashmere shrug. It's an oval piece of fabric with sleeves that drapes beautifully over any outfit. It meets the dress code, keeps you warm in the chilly piazzas, and takes up 0 space in your bag. Number 6. The 20 to 26 digital border. This is the biggest change for travelers this year. As of April 20th to 26th, the Schengen, pronounced Schengen area, has fully implemented the EES or entry-exit system. Say goodbye to those cool passport stamps. Everything is digital now. You will have to provide fingerprints and have your photo taken at a biometric kiosk upon arrival. The pro tip for EES: give yourself a massive buffer. Don't book a train ticket that leaves 1 hour after you land. You need at least 2 to 3 hours to clear these new security gates. Check your destination's specific requirements. Countries like Portugal, Sweden, and Italy have introduced pre-check apps. You can upload your passport data and your photo while you're still at the airport. This gives you a QR code that lets you skip the longest manual lines. Number 7. The refresh and reset routine. This is how you beat jet lag before you even touch European soil. Exactly 1 hour before landing, when the flight attendants start the breakfast service, head to the lavatory. Wash your face. Remember, never drink the airplane tap water. Use a bottled water splash and apply a high-quality moisturizer or skin tint. When you get back to your seat, do the oxygen hack. Take 20 very slow, deep inhales and exhales. Airplane air is low in oxygen, which contributes to that brain fog feeling. Flooding your system with oxygen wakes up your organs and gets your blood flowing. Finally, if your hotel isn't ready when you land at 8 a.m., don't just sit in the lobby. Look for a nanny bag location. These are secure, affordable luggage storage spots in local shops and hotels all over Europe. Drop your bags, grab a coffee, and start exploring the cobblestone streets immediately. Europe is waiting for you. With these 7 steps, you're going to arrive looking like a local pro instead of a groggy target. If you found these deep dive tips helpful, do me a huge favor. Hit that like button and subscribe to Travel Smart Daily. Your support helps us keep creating these guides for you. Safe travels, and I'll see you in the next one.